Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be having an update on the tropic today. We got what's now Tropical Storm Sam, which could be a monster system over the next couple days here. We're expecting this to become a major hurricane as it gets closer to Lesser Antilles over the next several days. Now, it is going to be moving pretty slow, so we'll have a lot of time to get pretty organized. We also got the remains of Rose up here. Peter has recently died out. We also got the remains of Odette as well. But the main part of this video today is going to be Tropical Storm Peter, which as you can see here, it has definitely got better organized. In yesterday's video, it was just a tropical wave. Well, today, it's now a tropical storm. That's going to continue to move to the northwest here. And let's check out the National Hurricane Center outlook here. Oh yeah, another thing to notice is that we actually got a cold front that's draping across a good chunk of the southeast United States. That's your fall cold front with an upper level low that's sitting right here. So that's a big time cold front right there, and it actually sags all the way through the Gulf of Mexico, at least the most of the Gulf of Mexico, which is some good news. That can actually cool some of those sea surface temperatures in these areas here over the next couple days or so. So that's at least some good news there. That cold front should continue to move to the south and the east. And with this cold front here, that's going to at least make at least the remains of Peter, which is not really around anymore, stay away from the United States. So let's check out the National Hurricane Center outlook here. So we got a couple things. We got Tropical Storm Sam, which currently has winds of 50 miles per hour, moving west at 16 miles per hour. Should turn a little bit further to the north in a little bit. Then you got the post-tropical cyclone Rose with winds of 35 miles per hour. That'll probably go away by tomorrow. And then you got the remains of Odette, which currently has a 60% chance of developing, but staying as a fish storm. Then we got another tropical wave to watch, which I do expect those percentages to increase over the next several updates as well. So let's click on Sam here, and already forecasting a major hurricane. So this is a high confidence forecast here. This thing here will become a major hurricane. And here's Lesser Antilles right here. And it's going to be moving at least slower over the next couple days here. And it's not really a good thing if it's going to move slower. If it's going to move slower, it's going to have more time to get more organized and get stronger. I mean, this thing here is likely looking to be one of the strongest hurricanes in the Atlantic hurricane season this year. Now, there's still a lot of questions of where this thing could be going. Right now, which I'll show you guys the balls in a little bit, but right now, some of the balls have it turning a little bit further to the north a little bit early. There's even at least one may keep it moving to the northwest. So let's check out some of those weather models. But here's a closer look into Tropical Storm Sam, and you can see here, it's definitely got pretty organized here. There's absolutely no wind shear going on out there, so there's not really much of a reason that would not get organized or anything like that. There's also no dry air, so this thing's got a green light for intensification here. And circulation is probably somewhere right in here, and it's got plenty of convection going around the main system. So yeah, it's definitely pretty organized as of right now. Here's the hurricane model. So it currently has no threat to land. Even if it gets close to the Lesser Antilles, the only impacts it probably bring is just heavy rainfall and maybe some gusty winds as well. But nothing major for the Lesser Antilles on the system here, at least for right now. Some things could change here. Here's the GFS Salmos. We're actually trending stronger with this system. If you remember yesterday's video, close to day 10, where it was showing a 979 millibar system on average on all of the members. Now it's down to 972 millibars. So the GFS almost are trending stronger with this system here. And here's the intensity guidance. So we also trended stronger with the hurricane models. Now with a good chunk of them in a category 2 and 3. as well. Only one's a Category 4, but I will say Category 4 hurricane is possible with this system here. It's definitely possible. The outliers would be the ones in the tropical storm, which I think it's going to be too weak as well. But let's kind of check out the environment here. And this is going to be the GFS model here. And here's what is tropical storm Sam. A little bit too weak on the pressure here, but this was, well, actually this is the latest update. Never mind on that. But a little bit too weak on the pressure here. So, but you do see here in the upper levels here, it'll have a pretty impressive outflow type of thing going on in here, and that'll definitely help that storm strengthen. And you can see out ahead of it, there is absolutely no wind shear going on out ahead of the system here. This thing here's got several days to intensify. So as we keep on going here, still no wind shear out there. And you can see how it still continues to intensify. And then we get to this point. And you do see here we got a trough that's trying to move in here. And does have plenty of wind shear with it. But this thing here will still intensify here. This is 18Z on Tuesday. And it hasn't made much progress so far. When it gets to the Lesser Antilles, it will hit some wind shear. There is a big dip in the jet stream here, so there is a trough in here, and that should curve it out to sea. Now, I will warn you guys that the GFS does have a progression bias, so it will not surprise me too much if this thing here starts to trend or turn north a little bit later than earlier. Despite having a good model agreement, the GFS does have a progression bias. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. It does bottom out to a 958 millibar low. That'd be a major hurricane right there. And possibly maybe close to a Category 4 with that type of pressure. And you can see here it continues to move up to the north, passes Bermuda to the east. But I do have a feeling that things may trend a little further west. It's been a common trend with weather models is that they trend or have the northern turn later. So we'll see if that happens here with this system here, but I do have a feeling that's probably going to happen. But I don't think it will get that close to the United States, or not get close enough to the United States where we'll see major impacts. I think it'll still be a fish storm at this point, but I think this thing here will trend a little bit further to the west here over the next several runs here, but we'll see. Time will tell on that. At the same time, here's another tropical wave, which also looks to be a hurricane right there, or a tropical storm that actually goes out there in the main development region. However, it does hit some wind shear out there as well. If you guys do hear any wind on the background, I had the window cracked because the winds are blowing against the window. So I do apologize if you guys do hear any wind noises in the background. Here's pretty suitable water, and there's probably one limiting factor on Tropical Storm Sam is that there will be some dry air kind of on the outside of Tropical Storm Sam when it gets to the Lesser Antilles. Now, I feel like if it could stay very organized, I don't think it won't have a problem with that dry air. But I do feel like whenever it gets to that wind shear, that's when things start to die down with Sam. So I do believe from now, which is about right here, to when it gets north of Lesser Antilles, it won't have much of any problems. But when it passes just to the north of Lesser Antilles, or when it gets to that point, that's when the environment does go downhill for Sam. And you do see here it rapidly moves very quickly to the north there, but that'll likely change. That's 10 days out. But you do see here, the environment is very favorable for tropical development for over the next several days, maybe up to a week, possibly. So, yeah, this could be a major system here. If it could stay as a small circulation, like I'll show you guys here with the European model, which has a tendency to being too weak with tropical systems, has not been doing so well with tropical systems this year, but we'll take a look at it anyways. Say it's showing 30 mile per hour sustained winds, but it's likely stronger than that. but it is a very small area of tropical storm winds, so it's not hard enough to show that. But it's likely to be stronger than when it shows. At this point here, this is now still a tropical depression actually, and I think it's going to rapidly intensify here. Now, if it could stay this small of a circulation, like right here, if it stays that small, there's a good chance this is going to rapidly intensify because typically with very small circulations within tropical systems, they can intensify very quickly. Now, if it's a larger eye or a larger area of circulation, usually it's tougher to intensify. Now, with the difference between Ida earlier this year and possibly with Sam, Ida had a little bit of a larger eye, and Sam might have a smaller eye. Time will tell on that, but we'll see what happens there. But European model does show a smaller eye here. The GFS shows a larger eye, but at the same time, it also shows a stronger system. So that's pretty interesting there. Now, this is likely an outlier here, but I'm going to show you guys this anyways, but we'll see where models will trend. But at this point here, by 7 o'clock on Monday, I'll say at this point here it's a hurricane. As you move to Tuesday, and then eventually to Thursday of next week here, north of the Lesser Antilles. This is when the environment becomes less favorable for tropical development. And the European model does show a Category 2 hurricane. But check out wind gusts, though. That's a different story. With wind gusts, 162 miles per hour. I'll say this is more of a Category 3 hurricane at this point here. So basically, you kind of got all models agree on at least a major hurricane, which is kind of insane. But look at where it goes. It actually goes pretty far to the west, but does not really get close enough to the United States, though. But I do have a feeling things may trend a little further west. Not just because it's not fear-mongering or anything. I'm just saying that with the trend that's been so far this hurricane season, as we've seen for Larry, it was currently forecasted to go out something like this before. It actually attracted something like this. And it's happened several times, at least a couple times this year. So I got a feeling this may happen the same way with Sam here, but we'll see here. Also, what weather fuses find very interesting with tropical systems, typically if it's a stronger system, usually has a little bit more of a right turn or it stays a little further to the east. But if it's a weaker system, it stays a little further to the west. So it's kind of confusing there. But that's something very interesting that some people have found out about that. But this is definitely a system we need to monitor as well, either way. Uh, this is definitely going to be a very interesting system to watch. And hey, look, there's that tropical wave that the National Hurricane Center is talking about. There it is right there. So there's a good agreement with that tropical wave, but it's still pretty far out to talk about that tropical wave as well. Here's our current sea surface temperatures, and as you can see here, it's warm out there, pretty much warm about everywhere. But like I said at the beginning, towards at least the beginning of the video, we have this cold front that's having it something like this as of right now, or place something like that. So that's definitely going to help cool down some of those sea surface temperatures here. With those cooler temperatures on the backside of that cold front, especially with that dry air as well, it's going to bring along with it. So hopefully that's going to be the case here. Cool down those sea surface temperatures at least a little bit. That'll definitely help with the situation where we have rapidly intensifying hurricanes before landfall. But here's the sea surface temperatures compared to average, and you do see here where Sam might be going towards is some above average sea surface temperatures. So this is definitely going to be very interesting here. So Larry may not Larry, but Sam may take a track something like this. At least this is where the models currently have a better agreement here. Maybe a little further east than that. But right now, this would be an area here to watch here where this thing could go. It could go anywhere in this area in here. But right now, currently has no threat to the United States, but that may change over the next several days. But anyways, guys, this is all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, hit the like button if you're new to my channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, leave it in the comment section down below. I answer you guys questions. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.